As a Republic soldier, the man formerly known as Revan was assigned to the ship Endar Spire, placed under the command of Jedi Knight Bastila Shan, but it was not long before the ship came under attack by the new Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Malak. As the ship was boarded, most made their way to escape pods, but Revan and his bunkmate Trask Ulgo stayed behind, searching for their commander to ensure her safety, only to discover she had already left the ship. They then encountered Darth Bandon, new Sith apprentice of Darth Lord Malak, and Trask selflessly sacrificed himself, attacking Bandon and sealing the door behind him in the hopes of buying Revan time to escape. Revan was then contacted by Captain Carth Onasi, informing him that they were the last two on board, then escaping together, only to crash land on the nearby planet of Taurus. Taking refuge in the south apartments of the upper city, they embarked on a mission to find Bastila Shan and return to the service of the Republic. During their time on the planet, they befriended a Twi'lek woman named Mission Veo, helping her rescue Zalbar, her Wookiee companion, who was so grateful he swore a life debt, joining Revan in his travels, with Veo following close behind. They finally found Bastila Shan held in a cage unconscious by a criminal named Gandon Thek, who held her as a prize to be awarded to the winner of a swoop bike race, which Revan entered and won. Yet the plan ultimately failed and was about to turn violent when Shan awoke and emerged from the cage, attacking her captors. Revan and Shan fought side by side and were victorious, reuniting with Carth Onasi to figure out a way off the planet. And so they made a deal with a Mandalorian named Canderous Ordo to steal the ship Ebon Hawk so they might escape. Revan then purchased a T-3M4 droid to help in his mission, and the group proved successful, taking the ship off planet and into hyperspace. Bastila then ordered that they travel to Dantooine, where Revan had a private meeting with the Jedi Council, who continued to hold back the secret of his origins, but could not deny his ever-increasing Force capabilities. They also told him the strange dreams and shared visions he'd been having had created a Force bond with Bastila Shan, who would now train him in the ways of the Jedi. After several weeks of study, the Jedi Padawan and his master were sent to investigate nearby ruins, where a vision revealed Revan once visited with Malak. Passing the required tests, they gained access to the inner chamber and found a part of a star map, which mentioned several other planets where the rest of the map could be found. This was how Revan and Malak discovered the Star Forge, which allowed them to build their Sith Empire. Returning to the Council, they were then assigned to locate the rest of the map fragments, so they might find Malak and destroy his empire. Before leaving Dantooine, they were joined by Jedi Knight Juhani, who joined their crew, eager to serve Revan after he selflessly helped her during his time on the planet. They then traveled to Tatooine, where Revan bought a droid designated HK-47 to join his crew as they recovered the next piece of the star map. Yet after its retrieval, they were confronted by the bounty hunter Calo Nord, who was hired by Malak to find Revan and his people, with the Dark Lord now aware of Revan's survival. The Jedi Padawan and his crew then defeated the bounty hunter, leaving Tatooine and traveling to the Wookiee planet of Kashyyyk. There, Revan met a Grey Jedi named Jolee Bindo, who recognized the former Sith Lord, but did not reveal what he knew. Bindo then joined Revan's crew and helped him find the star map on the planet. Moving on to the planet of Manan, the Jedi Padawan came to participate in a murder trial, representing an old friend of Bindo named Sunri, helping him prove his innocence. After which they recovered the next star map fragment, only to be attacked by Darth Bandon and his minions. Revan engaged the Sith apprentice and struck him down, then leaving the planet, headed for Korriban to find the final piece of the star map. Yet as they made their way to the Sith homeworld, the Ebon Hawk was attacked and captured by the Imperial ship Leviathan, led by Saul Karath, Carth Onasi's former Republic commander, now serving the Sith Empire. And while Revan was tortured for information, he never broke and was eventually rescued along with the rest of the crew by one of his companions who had stayed behind and hid from Imperial forces, waiting for the right time to come to their aid. And so Revan, Shan, and Onasi confronted Karath on the bridge of his ship, killing the man and his guards. But as he lay dying, he whispered a secret to Carth Onasi, informing him of Revan's true identity. Though stunned, Onasi did not reveal what he learned, and so they continued their escape until intercepted by Darth Malak, who had just arrived, confronting his former Sith master, and at last revealing the truth behind Revan's identity. They then engaged in a duel, where Revan proved a stronger warrior, but Malak was able to use his Force powers to overcome Revan's superior fighting skills, and would have killed him him, if not for Bastila Shan, who took over the battle, sacrificing herself so he might escape. And while Revan desperately wanted to save her, he and Onasi barely managed to escape with their own lives, returning to the Ebon Hawk and informing them of all that occurred. To Revan's surprise, they all were able to accept the truth of his past, realizing he was not the same man anymore. Continuing on to Korriban, Revan and Bindo posed as Sith recruits in order to enter the academy and gain access to restricted areas. Revan then located the final star map fragment within the tomb of an ancient Dark Lord and had to fight his way back to the Ebon Hawk after it was discovered he was not a Sith. With the star map now complete, the Ebon Hawk followed it to the unknown regions, where they discovered the Star Forge, surrounded by the Sith fleet, sending the coordinates to the Republic. But the ship was soon spotted and forced to land on the nearby planet of Lahan, where Revan came to be confronted by Bastila Shan, his former Jedi Master, now the Sith apprentice of Darth Malak. Revan learned that she'd been defeated by Malak during their duel, then captured and tortured until she fell to the dark side. Bastila engaged Revan, but proved unable to defeat him, fleeing the confrontation. The former Dark Lord then returned to the Ebon Hawk and participated in a coordinated attack with Republic forces, boarding the Starforge directly, where Revan once again engaged Bastila Shan, defeating her 3 times until she begged him to end her suffering. Yet he refused to kill her, instead convincing her to return to the light side and expressing his feelings of love for her, which she returned. Revan then moved on to confront Darth Malak, at last defeating his former apprentice and striking him down. With the war all but over, Revan and his crew were invited to Lahan, where they were greeted as heroes. For his efforts, Revan received the Cross of Glory, known to be the highest possible honor within the Republic. A special thanks to all those who contribute to Civilization X, like Nantine the Blackburned Ewido, Joey Lady Phoenician, and Fabian Kenai Flowers. If you would like to help Civilization X, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like and subscribe, and click on the links to see more.